Well, hello, Armando.
Hey, let's get here on the screen. There we go. Hey,
Yeah.
Cecilia. How's it going?
Good, doing well. How are
How
you?
was
How's
your holiday
everyone?
yesterday?
Oh my goodness. Humid here in South
Hear
Florida.
me? Did Copilot help you with cooking yesterday?
Not so much. We need Copilot on that very soon. We need to submit that idea, I think.
There we go.
That's
Welcome,
great.
everybody, to Fabric Talks. It's great to be here with you again, our fifth week together and growing. That's great. So, again, my name is Armando Lacerda. If this is your first time here, I'm a Microsoft MCT and MVP, and you can get a full description on the earlier videos. And here's my friend Cecilia.
Yeah, hey, I'm an NCT as well. I'm a data consultant. I'm here to have fun and share about Power BI and Fabric and now Copilot. We have one more to go, right?
One more to go. Yeah, we have this week and next week, and then we meet each other in South Florida for our workshops. So
Correct.
if you have not signed up yet, there you saw the QR code coming up, and browsing through the intro. We're gonna have for you again at the end. We hope to see you there so we can have some fabric fun together and try out all of these features we've been talking about here in the past 5 weeks. And next week there is one more.
Yeah, so next week we have Microsoft Fabric calling SQL DBAs. So if you're into that, be sure that you tune in. And as Armando said, he will be in town. So if you want some in-person touch, hands-on workshops, join
And live
us.
Q&A, right? Bring the
Live
questions.
Q&A. Also, if you're in town, maybe we'll have some meetup for the user groups. And you can enjoy South Florida. You can go to the Keys, to the beach, It's like a
Oh,
good
going to the
vacation.
keys. I like that. I'm heading there. Cecilia, so today the topic is Copilot in Fabric, right?
Correct. Copilot in Fabric.
And I know Copilot is your new friend. So I will be asking you the questions. I want to learn from you. Tell me, is Copilot and what is Copilot actually, right? Let's start from the beginning. What is this thing called Copilot and how does it apply to Fabric?
Yeah, so Copilot, what it is a generative AI or Gen AI, the friendly word nowadays, built into Microsoft Fabric. And as the name suggests, and I think it's a great name, is there to assist us. We are the pilots, and Copilot acts as an assistant, right? It's our assistant. And the cool thing is that it can assist developers as well as business users. I love that part.
Well, that's great. And you know what?
Mhm.
You brought a important point there because in the past we have seen agents being named after people, right? Like Amazon got Alexa, and Microsoft had one before, a long time ago. Can't even remember the name
Co-
anymore.
Cortana, was it?
Cortana, yeah,
Cortana.
which is kind of an interesting name, but not sure if it's a person's name. But I think that you raised a great point, which is Copilot is not a person, right? So therefore, it doesn't think. It helps you with your task. So you are the pilot. It's just helping you to get there faster. So great
And
point.
and we also have to help Copilot function. So it needs us,
It,
right?
yep,
And,
exactly.
and, and now that you mentioned Cortana, Alexa, and all that, who was the first Copilot with Microsoft?
Oh, that's a trivia question.
Ah,
No, I'm I'm on the spot. The very
Clippy. Remember
Sleepy,
Clippy?
yes. The first,
He used to be our assistant there. I mean, most of us maybe we turn it off, but he was the first version, right?
it was a try. Yeah, yeah. I saw this meme the other day. It's like Clippy is the grandfather of Copilot.
There you go. Who used Clippy? Write in the chat. Who wrote?
Yeah, have you used? Yeah, right in the chat. We'd love
I
to hear from you.
I still have the stickers from Clippy.
I have a picture with Clippy. I was at Microsoft at one conference there, and they had Clippy walking around. I took pictures with Clippy.
That's so cool.
Super cool. All right, that was great. So I got another one for you. Since Copilot is Gen AI, like you said, what are the benefits of using Copilot for Power BI professionals?
Well, we have different benefits, but the good news is also that it keeps growing. So they keep adding more and more benefits. We have benefits such as chatting with our data, using natural language to chat with our data. We can ask for things, we can get insights, summaries. We're going to check out some of the functionalities during the demos, but
Oh, demos, great.
you can ask for some analysis, report visuals. Hey, the best one to me is like, write me some DAX.
I need that. I
Right?
need that. Help me write index, please.
Yeah, so it helps generating the code, suggesting, also adding synonyms. If people remember the Q&A, so the experience for synonyms is kind of similar, adding descriptions to the data model. Uh, but the important thing is that Copilot relies in our data model, right? Semantic model. So it's important that we have a good data model, a semantic model in place before we try to use Copilot. Because Copilot, I mean, needs us, as we said in the beginning, right? So if it cannot really understand our model, and when we say understand, it can be, I mean, if you are only thinking about a good star scheme and all that, that's important, but also the names that you use, the descriptions
Mm,
that you use, right? Because you're asking for something, but if the name is not representative, I mean, how can Copilot guess, right? What are you talking about? I don't see that column name anywhere. So
yeah. So the name of the tables and the name of the columns on the tables, they're more important than ever, right?
exactly, and sometimes it can even assume. Okay, you don't have you have revenue, for example, and maybe it assumes that sales is a synonym, income is a synonym. But if you have something completely different, you have to add that in the synonyms so Copilot can understand. But my personal favorites are the DAX code generation, of course, and I love the chat for the business users. I love that the users can ask for things to Copilot without really getting to technical things. What are your favorites, Armando?
Well, I do like I'm not an artist, so when I have to create a report from scratch, I struggle a lot in the beginning. Then it gets easier as you get a body there. So I really like the ability to ask Copilot to throw on the canvas something for me and then refine from that. So that's the one that I like a lot, and of course Dex.
Yeah, that's is the
So
best.
that's great. So there is a lot there for Power BI professionals, right? When we use Fabric with Copilot. So it's important to understand that we do need Fabric, right, to use Copilot. If you have just Power BI Pro, can we use Copilot there?
Nope. You
No.
need a fabric capacity.
And it has to be a paid capacity, right? They did not enable Copilot for the trial version. So if you want to
Correct.
try Copilot, you have to pay for that one.
Yeah, and because people really ask for it, it used to be only F64, and now it's for all the fabric capacity, which is super cool.
That was a great addition, right? I think they announced that at the FabCom in Vegas, right, early this year. So it's great. You don't have to pay
I
that
think
much.
so.
Just an F2, you can start working with the things. So, like you
Correct.
said,
And
go ahead.
speaking about paying, there is a feature that I love that is called fabric capacity. Fabric Copilot capacity that you can enable. So instead of using any capacity, every time that Copilot is used in Power BI, it would charge that fabric capacity. So you don't have to burn it. Maybe you have a capacity for your data engineering or for your report sharing your reports. So you can assign a specific capacity to only to Copilot. So all the expenses related to Copilot will be charged to that one. So you don't
and, and
compromise
it's
the rest.
and it's not just the expenses, right? Because when Copilot is creating the the results that are asking the completions, it's using computing. So if people go crazy asking Copilot to do things, they may disrupt some back end processing, some ETL that's happening in the back end in the same at the same time. With this feature you just mentioned, people can go crazy in Copilot and not disturb any back end processing of anything. So good call.
Yeah, that's a great description. Yeah, because we think it's magic asking to Copilot, but I mean, it's compute is happening,
Yeah, there is a
right?
I was reading the other day, people are there are that many million people every day asking ChatGPT or Azure OpenAI, Azure AI Foundry, all of those things to do completions, and that is taking a lot of energy. Actually, there are a lot of reports out there that the main restriction today is you cannot create data centers fast enough, and you cannot power them up. There is not enough energy to power them up. So it's good to have a capacity just for that, to
Yes.
avoid disrupting back end processing, and at the same time keep expenses under control. Love it,
Yeah.
Cecilia. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, let's
So
see
yeah,
some Copilot
show
happening.
it. Show us
Let me know when my screen is on the.
right there.
All right. So here I'm in a capacity I'm sorry, I'm in a workspace that is Fabric. This is an F2 that I have assigned to this workspace. And what I'm going to show you first is the DAX generation that I love. So you can do this from the desktop. So let me show you that. I wanted to show you everything from the cloud, right? But if you're aware of this tab right here, the DAX query, you can write here and use your Copilot here. But let's go back to our workspace here. So if I click on any of the semantics models that I have, see that I have these options here, and I can click and say, let's write some DAX. Write some DAX, and it's going to open a similar screen as you saw in my Power BI desktop. And now, of course, there is some suggestion here to do the top sales, but I can open a new one and say, okay, I will click and ask for some help from Copilot. This is a very simple data model here. Actually, I'm using this one because it doesn't have any measures, so it can suggest some of them. That's why I chose this data set. So it can suggest you some measures, but I can start asking from simple to more complex. I want total sales measure. Let's see if it understands that for me.
Of course it will.
Let's see. Let's see.
And that's another thing. Some people are complaining that Copilot's kind of slow when you ask stuff. There's a lot of a processing going in the back end. So, don't freak out if it takes like 10 seconds to do something.
That's correct. And it also has a disclaimer saying that you should check the results because some of the features are on preview and it says that this is on preview. Always check the results before you completely trust them. But you can see this is a very simple one, right? So
Mhm.
the measure looks correct. So I can keep my query, or I can ask for more. I can say, okay, I want a total sales measure, and the total sales. I'm sorry, sales for last year. Let's see if it gives me some calculator. But this is pretty cool. I mean, I'm asking for very simple things, but it can get more complex. See, it created. Well, it did not complete. Well, maybe it's because I put everything in under the same one. But if I want to keep my measure, I can say keep it, and then I can update my model, and it will add this measure to my model.
Straight into the
See?
model. Nice.
Yeah. So I can keep this query. See, we have the measure here, and we can run the evaluate if we want and see the result. Everything looks nice. So see that I don't have any measures so far. So I can say,
Hmm.
okay, let's update the model with the changes. Of course, I have some warnings. Are you sure? Yes, I am. And now my measure is showing up here. See, total
And
sales.
that "are you sure" question is important
Yes,
because, again, you are the responsible, not Copilot, right? It
correct.
gave you some suggestions, so like, sure, this is gonna be you, it's not me.
Correct. And also, this also opened the conversation about security and access and all that. So you should be cautious on who can use this Copilot to modify your data sets, right? Your semantic models. I, I don't get used to the new name. I really love data set. Okay, so this is DAX. You can do this as well in your Power BI desktop, the same fashion.
Oh, it works from
But
the desktop too.
yeah,
Nice.
correct. So we have this view here, and Copilot is here to assist us if we need to. But then we have also something very important because we were talking about this semantic model preparation. It's
Hmm.
important. So we have some assistant here. Have you tried this, Armando? The prep data for AI?
No, show me.
It's very cool. I mean, it's very simple. Of course, it's nothing that will be creating the semantic model for you. That's up to us still, but it helps you getting started. See, it has some suggestions here to simplify the data schema because maybe we have so many columns that are for the backend, right? It's not that you are using them to create measures or to create the visualization. So is suggesting you, hey, maybe simplify that, right? See that it improve the response accuracy by deselecting fields that Copilot doesn't need to analyze. If I have an ID, I mean, what's the point to have that for Copilot? So simplifying those things are important. So I can come here and prepare this data set, this semantic model from here, and start deselecting things that may not be important and see that Power BI did some work for us already. It identified this ID possibly won't be used, but see the measures are selected, and I can keep tuning this, right?
So it's helping Copilot to focus on what is important in a model, right?
Correct. And this comes to what you were saying that the Copilot in the backend is using resources. So I mean,
Yeah,
if we can simplify it, we should.
I love
And
it. That looks really cool.
right? And then we have this also option, verify answers. And this has to do with what we were talking about, the different names of a column, for example, or different ways to ask, right? Because it can suggest or it can understand better how people ask. Maybe I want to say, okay, there are two phrases here, for example, right? What is the revenue by region? Or can you show me the revenue? I'm a person that I like to say, give me the revenue, right? Because it goes straight to the point if I want to talk to AI. So maybe I want to add that here, right? So I can come here and say, okay, let's add and it will help, right? And then it's showing you some visual here, so you can keep tuning all these options as well as the AI instructions, right? So we can provide context. See that here is showing us the EBITDA. So think of this when you are asking for narratives, right? So if Power BI, if Copilot understand better what an EBITDA is, it can give you a richer text, a richer narrative, right? So this is the point here.
This is giving Copilot some context about what a table or a collection of measures, what they represent, right? What they are all about. That's great.
Correct. It's like teaching a fake person, right? Like
Yeah.
you're telling a
Uh-huh.
person, okay, the EBITDA is this or the revenue is this. Right? So yeah,
It's
it
hard,
helps.
it's hard not to think of Copilot as a person because it talks back to you, right? So you're like, this thing is talking to me in English. So it feels like there's somebody there in the other end.
So yeah, and going back to what you say about all the power that AI consumes, someone told me, a friend of mine told me that they were asking people not to reply thank you or things like that to the AI because that consumes resources. But it's so difficult because it talks to you as a person. So you say, oh, this is great. Thank you so much.
That's so weird. I heard an interview of the guy who invented ChatGPT. Oops, my camera is working here. of the guy who invented ChatGPT, and he was like, there are so many millions of dollars that are wasted by people who wants to be polite to Copilot, and they're like, please or thank you. Say, come on, I'm a polite person. No, I'm supposed to have good manners, but they are like, yeah, don't be polite to it. That is really
This is so
funny.
true. This is so true. All right.
All right,
So,
so that is great, right? This I see Copilot helping a lot. So is it only for the Power BI professional?
well, that's what I want to show you because I'm amazed by this. I mean, this is the same report, but it's already published that we see here. So if I come here as a viewer, I could enable Copilot. You see that we have it right here on the upper right corner. And when I enable here, it's offering me some options, but I can chat with Copilot and start asking things. But take a look at this. It says I can ask Copilot what this report is about or to prepare a summary. And that is so cool. So let's say, please prepare a summary for me so I can speak with my team about this. So I just click on it, or I can write, of course. Look at that. That's amazing,
Wow, that's great.
right? The total opportunity revenue is 10.26 billions with blah, blah, blah
Talking
opportunities.
points. You can make talking points. That's nice.
Right. And then it shows you where those talking points come from. If I hover on the numbers next to the bullet, see, is okay, this is coming from this card and from this other card. Of course, these are totals. And then the second point comes from this chart. So it's analyzing this information so I can know
So
where
it's
it's
not just
coming
for the
from.
Power BI Pro user creating a DAX or creating a report. This is for the end user too to ask questions about the report, so you don't
This is
have to call anybody. That's nice.
that's amazing. So
That's
say
really
what?
cool.
Let's ask if I can write here. Sorry, I'm in the wrong screen. There it is. I can say, hey, what stands out? Uh, ouch, from this report. Let's see. And it's scanning. Now it's calculating and using all that process power to tell me, okay, and it's generating a summary. You can ask and ask for more things, of course. Well, it created a similar summary, but see, it uses a narrative.
That's super cool. This
Smart,
helps end users for sure, right? This is a
right?
powerful tool for the end users. You do have to be a little patient, as you could see, the interaction can be a little slow, but the outcome is great, super valuable. So I love
Look at
it.
this. Is there anything critical I should focus on? I mean, these type of questions, even the suggestions are great,
Yeah.
right? So I'm asking Copilot, and here I'm in the report. I could use this at the tenant level, let's say, right? I'm going into my Power BI portal. See, now it gave me a different summary on what I should pay attention to. But I could go to right here. So if you go to your portal, to your Power BI portal, you also have this option right here, Copilot. And this is the standalone Copilot. So you don't have to be in the report to use Copilot. Have you tried this one, Armando?
Yeah, that's the regular one. Uh-huh.
This is
Yeah,
great. So
some people don't realize that, right, Cecilia? But from Microsoft, there are over 120 distinct co-pilots. You have co-pilots for a bunch of things out there. So we are focusing today on Copilot in Fabric. But when you talk about Copilot in Fabric, there are co-pilots for multiple things. Copilot for DEX, Copilot for report, like we just showed, a Copilot to explain a report that was published. It's yet another Copilot. So there are multiple Copilots, and this one is the generic one, right?
yeah. And I want to find, maybe I want to say, okay, show me any report that is dashboard in a day. Let's see how it responds to that. So now it's scanning my workspaces. I say, oh, I found all these dashboard in a day ones. And 1, 2, 3, let's say, okay, I want a summary. Give me a summary for the third option. Let's see if I get some response here.
This increases productivity so much because I don't have to go in and look and try to figure it out. I can ask a question and then evaluate the answer. That's great.
Look at that.
Not
I
bad,
mean,
huh?
if people are aware of dashboarding day, you remember these type of visuals, right? The gauge and the
All right,
amount
I'm sold.
Arsdale.
I'm sold. I want this. How do I
You want it.
enable this on my
So
Fabric?
how do we enable this? That's a great question. Let me jump into the tenant settings right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my admin portal. Okay, if you are familiar with this portal, of course you can scroll down, but I'm just
You,
going to
you showed
search.
this photo to us 3 weeks ago
Mhm.
on the governance video. If the people who are watching this video later want to take a look on that one, just go on the second week, and you're gonna see a lot of governance tips in there.
Correct. So the most important ones, if you want to use it in Power BI, is first is this one. You have to enable this option, and if you want to use the standalone, you have to be sure that you enable this. Right. This is a different tenant. That's why you see is disabled here. But then you have other things that are related to your the data location. If you don't want it to go outside your country boundaries and things like that, you can configure that. And this is because one of the requirements to use Copilot is not only that you have to have an F2 capacity and app and all that, is that it has to be enabled in your region, right? So you have
Ah,
to check in the Microsoft documentation if your region has Power BI, Copilot, I'm sorry.
Copilot.
And it, yeah, and if it has all the capabilities, because maybe if that capability is not in your region, maybe it needs to go outside your region. That's why you can give access, you can give permission to that or not. Same for
Yeah.
storing if it needs to store some data.
Without
So
going too much into the weeds, I think it's important to understand data residency, where data is actually stored, and data processing, where the data is going to be computed, right? So Copilot doesn't exist in every region in Azure, but your data may be in a region where there is one or there is not. So if you want to use Copilot, it will travel to other regions. And usually that's okay with GDPR, people in Europe, right, with the GDPR, and here in US too. But some for some industries, this may not be okay. So great call, Cecilia. You have to check that out.
yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, they don't charge you in that case because they want you to use Copilot, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm trying to say the egress of information because if
the
you're
network
aware of,
traffic. Uh-huh.
yeah, if people are aware of Azure egress, it doesn't apply here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Very good. I love it. I really do.
right. Of course,
So
this is just the beginning. I mean, we could see more things, but we don't have the much time. So you were gonna
sure,
ask.
sure. But I'm worried about something here, Cecilia. Help me out here. You showed Copilot writing a DAX for you. I think that
Mhm.
DAX I could write, but it could get more complex than that.
Correct.
And I'm not sure if I would be able to do it. So it's great to have a tool that can help me out writing that, and the report, right, that you also showed that Copilot can create. So is Copilot going to replace Power BI professionals?
I don't think so. I mean, I would say at the beginning, Copilot is there as our assistant. We are the pilots here. Copilot still needs us to prepare the data, to create the data models, to clean the data. That is something that is not 100% today. Maybe in 10 years, 5 years, I don't know how many years, but we still need to do that work, right? We need to assist AI to assist us. So
I'm worried about Skynet. I'm worried about Hall. You remember the 2000 and Odyssey? You know that old movie. So I'm worried about these computers trying to take my place. Get out of here! I don't want that.
And something short before we leave. I mean, is Copilot only for Power BI, Armando?
No, Copilot is everywhere, right? You can find Copilot everywhere. Like if you're doing Fabric, if you're in Fabric, um, you have multiple items in Fabric. You have a warehouse, you have a lake house, the semantic model, KQL, right, for Event Hub and all of that. And we are finding Copilot. Copilots are coming up in each one of these items. Not all of them have Copilot yet, but they are popping up in each one of them. So you can go like into the warehouse and ask Copilot there in the warehouse, backed by Fabric, of course, Fabric capacity, to help you creating statements, right? SQL statements based on the tables there are in the warehouse. It's not even the semantic model yet, right? It's in the warehouse, and you can create those tables and create agents on top of this, right? In the Fabric data agent. which you can use to support later after you have clean it up and make sure it's working well. You can publish it. You can have it supporting other agents. So when agents talking to agents, this thing goes there a lot, right? This things can get really a web kind of case, kind of a complex, but it's super cool because when you see it working, the benefits are great. So yeah, not just for Power BI professionals, for data engineers, it's for data scientists. You find it everywhere.
Yeah, I had here. See that we have Copilot in notebooks, so it can assist you with your Python or anything else that you're using.
I'm
This
not
is
gonna lie.
amazing.
I'm not gonna lie. I use this thing a lot. I've been writing way less code. I've been more of a troubleshooter of what Copilot creates. It's way faster than me writing my own codes.
Look at that! It can assist me like creating steps to clean my data using data flows. I mean, this is
It's
unbelievable.
everywhere. It's popping up everywhere. It's getting better and better. If you compare this thing like from a year ago, it's like 10 times bigger now. It's pervasive everywhere.
Amazing, amazing.
Super. All right, we are up time. You see, 30 minutes go that fast, right?
Flies.
Our people are kind of quiet today. Didn't get any questions coming from the people watching live. If you watch this session later, after we publish it in a YouTube channel, Magna Data YouTube channel. If you watch it later, if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to us. We will be happy to help you there. And don't forget, we'll be in town. We're gonna run the workshops in about 2 weeks, right? So we'll be there in town,
Correct.
and it will be your chance, right, to try these things together. There are 4 workshops coming up. You can pick any one of them on the topic you like, or all of them. We'll be there for the whole week.
So Armando, do we have a sandbox or something to play
Oh
with
yes,
Copilot and all that?
all hands on. It's not going to be just Q&A, just talking, but you will have a sandbox to try all of these things, and without the fear of being charged or break anything that cannot be fixed.
I'm sold.
There we go. All right, Cecilia, I see you next week for our last
Yeah,
Fabric Talks installment of this series. And we'll be talking about SQL in Fabric, right? There are multiple SQL in Fabric. So next week, we're going to talk about one particular one, which is SQL in Fabric. That's the name of the thing, in Fabric. So I see you next week.
see you next week. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Goodbye.
Armando.